Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Streggy, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did.
Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you. Over.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. My name is David Streggy, and here I'm going to review a 13 episode of animated anime television series called Elfen Lied or Elfen Lied, whichever that you may want to call it. The only thing is, it's in this in the spindle case, and I'm not exactly too fond of spindle cases. It sucks, but the series itself, I absolutely enjoy. It was a series that was created by Lin Okamoto and Takeo Yoshioka, and it was directed by Mamoru Kanbe, for the most part, but it was also somewhat directed by Sumio Watanabe in 3 episodes, Akira Iwanaga in 2 episodes, who worked on Ghost Stories, which was a recent series that I had somewhat reviewed. Kyosuke Onishi in 2 episodes, Yuki Sadahara in 2 episodes, Kizo Kusakawa in 1 episode, and Kobun Shizuno in 1 episode. And this was a series that was put together in 2004. And one thing I wanted to say is that there are, let's see, for the English dub, Chris Patton voiced Tumu, which Chris Patton voiced, I believe, Hajime in Ghost Stories. We have Christine M. Outen, who plays additional voices. Chris Ayers, who voiced a sharpshooter. These 2 people were voices, main voices in Ghost Stories. And there's actually one more voice in here, Monica Rial, who voiced Kane in here. And she voiced one of the other voices in Ghost Stories. So it's no wonder that I enjoy this series. Now, the series is about the series is about a character named Lucy. who ends up um, getting um, in the very beginning, she you see uh, almost a totally naked young girl in a helmet, and she ends up like totally annihilating like 15 soldiers and escaping from this compound. And as the series progresses, we realize that they're evidently this um, secret government facility um, is trying to contain what they think is a disease, but it is in fact uh, a genetic thing that the these people are born with these horns, but they are born with powers of kinetic proportions, and they think that they should be killed at birth, but some of them believe that some of them should be um, weapons weaponized in order to um, to help the military or whatnot to be secret weapons or something of that nature. And when Lucy escapes, um, she gets her head banged in the process, and she becomes this very demure young woman that two university students end up coming across, and her name is Niu. And apparently, the two the first student is this young man by the name of Coda, um, and he has come to live in an old place that used to be a restaurant, and it was in fact the landlord of the place was a cousin of his, from what I understand, who was in fact in love with Coda, or had infatuations with him one summer, unbeknownst to him, and or maybe he'd just forgotten because shortly after, um, something bad happened. And as the series progresses, we learn that Lucy has actually met Coda before, when she was Lucy, and this was shortly before this carnival that he had met his cousin at. And it just so happens that there is a dark secret that Lucy holds from Kota, um, and everyone involved. Meanwhile, the father of evidently all of these creatures that are horned has sent his one of his children, that he so-called calls, who goes by the name of Nana, um, after Lucy, to take her back to the compound. And in effects, she becomes part of the family, that that is Coda and Yuka and Mayu, and she. I guess there's this homeless girl who has this pet with her that there is a side story going along with this homeless girl and this runaway, where she's run away from her father, who had been trying to have some sexual encounters with this young girl. So I guess we have that backstory going along, and she eventually becomes part of this family that they create and this family environment. But the secret that Mew holds is so powerful, and unfortunately, it is eventually her downfall. And it turns out that the facility director guy, or at least the guy who had been helping contain many of these creatures, sends his real daughter out to battle Lucy, or at least that's what I think. And all of them have these uh, kinetic ways. They have these invisible hands that they're able to shoot out and use their powers. And each powers are different. Lucy ultimately is able to jump and fly a little bit, and um, the real daughter in the wheelchair chair, she ends up being the director's downfall as well. His kryptonite, and so he eventually takes her and uh, takes her and blows themselves up, I guess, by taking and talking to his daughter down and giving her the love that she supposedly has been missing, because apparently these creatures with horns, with powers that they know not of, they have been incubated and have been shown very little outside um, activity. So I guess spoiler alert. uh, the secret that Lucy holds is the fact that when she was jealous of the relationship that um, Koda was having with his cousin at the carnival, she ended up killing his sister and um, his father at a very young age, and he had totally forgotten about these until much later. And when Mew first came to the home, she had actually broken a shell that his sister had picked from the ocean, and Mew felt so bad that she went out and found a shell just like it, so that it could replace it. And there was a shooter um, that had um, had a mission to hunt Lucy down and shoot to kill, or bring her back, whichever way was possible. and he met up with the homeless girl and ended up being in her debt because she saved his life or whatnot. And the same guy who was the father of one of the kinetic girls, the one in the wheelchair. Um, she he ultimately helped that guy out in getting his arm replaced with some parts so he could continue his so-called mission, at least in some form or fashion. But ultimately, I feel like there are some things that are politically incorrect because you see a lot of these young girls naked, and I almost feel like anyone who seems to be under 15 and you're animating these creatures as being naked. They're not exactly 18, so to speak. It almost borders lines on porn, softcore porn, because of the fact that they were naked and nude. Um, it's not that I have anything against nudity or anything like that. I love seeing it from time to time. But in younger girls, as far as this, I almost feel like I'm invading seeing bodies so young, so nude. But in any case, hopefully you enjoyed this particular review. From what I understand, the production company is from the production company of Arms, and again, ADV Films um, put together the dub for this particular uh, production, and I enjoyed it. It was definitely dark in moments, and the reveal of the secret was I didn't expect it. I didn't expect the reveal. That's the thing. And I'm sorry that I said it, but I did say right before I said it. Spoiler alert. So, in any case, thank you for listening. Appreciate your time spent here on my page. Hopefully, you check this series out. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the film. I thought the anime was well put together, um, artistically as well as being able to portray exactly what was going on. I wish it was longer, maybe, or maybe the story was told as much as could be. It was told in spurts, and is told going backwards to front, or front backwards to frontwards, instead of going through and telling it straight on. It told it in bits and pieces, and for some reason, I like the fact that there are some connections to the previous series that I had watched. So bear that in mind, and um, let me know down in the comments if you've ever seen this television series. I thought it was relatively cool. I first heard about it from my friend at the time, Bruce, and a couple other people. Anyone who's ever told me about Elfen Lied or Lead has told me that it's a pretty good series. Although there are some that don't seem to like it out there, I enjoyed it, and it's definitely one of the more weirder, darker horror like series that are out there. So thank you for listening. Have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Appreciate your time spent here on the page. Thank you.
You were good, kid, real good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best, see?